Excellent. All right, we are live. I'm having some tech issues going on with the OBS application to get me up and launch. So let's see. Sounds like mic check, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Sounds like mic check, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and drop that down. Kick that back, and we're going to need a minute here just to do the postings and the social medias and stuff like that. So if you're catching this after live stream, go ahead and skip ahead a minute, and I'll see you on the other side. But for those that are trapped here in space time with me here now, my name is Phil Courtney. What's up? I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I've been creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2024 since its release. I've been publishing on the DMsGuild for D&D content in general since 2017. I've been a DM since 1987 and a freelance illustrator since 1999. But I'm also a huge Eberron enthusiast. So we're making an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting. It's here on the screen. You can see Crystals of Mabar. It's for characters 7th, 8th level. We're fighting necromancers, undead, and demons in the Carnwood of Corvair in underground dungeons. And right now we're making a Roper creature token. This is the book format that we're using, quote-unquote book. It's PDF only, so I'm designing it as a PDF instead of a book that you only get to read through a PDF. Instead, we're making it built specifically for PDF design for use on tablets, TVs, monitors, and handheld devices. 16:9 format. If you want to view a full page at a time, if you tilt it up on the side, I can't do it right now because it's not actually a PDF yet, but each individual column is also 16:9 in the vertical format. And when this is done, we'll have hyperlinks at the bottom here that'll clip you from one area to another. We're doing maps that when you touch the different rooms on the map, it'll automatically jump you to that location inside of the adventure. So you can literally follow the characters around the map as they go from room to room, and then click into each room to have all the information that you need in that area. And then we reference all the monsters. Whenever we're mentioning a monster, we hyperlink those to jump back here to this appendix where we have all the monsters. So we did this Shadow Mastiff yesterday, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. We had previously done the Revenants, which is a sort of sentient zombie. And now we're working on a Roper. So that's where we're at today. I stream Monday through Fridays in the AM like this. And then on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, Monday, Thursday night, and Saturday morning, we do game design. And this is a Thursday in the here now. So we'll be working tonight in about a little less than 12 hours from now. We'll be back online 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do game design. We're working on the Bastion campaign and Spelljammer, Kaiju, and Mecha designs, and we're wrapping both of those concepts inside of an Eberron Spelljammer Asteroid Belt campaign. So if any of those words are interesting to you, you can like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Oh yeah, and all the books that I make are based on books that I make. So if you think any of this stuff is cool, here's a whole bunch of books that I've already created on DMsGuild, and they all have free previews. So be welcome to check out my art and ideas. And if you have any questions, you can join my Discord server and kick around in there, or just drop chat into here, and I will happily talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. But if we have a session that's coming up specifically about what you're asking, I will make light of the conversation, but defer you for a deeper dive to whenever that conversation occurs. I will be making it. Hopefully, I'll be making it this weekend. Hey, what's going on, Duff? Yeah, hopefully I'll be making it this weekend a short video on how to paint in color, even though I'm colorblind. So I don't think it's going to be anything too ornate or overly produced. probably just me clicking through Photoshop just to point out, like, these are the tools that I can use as a colorblind person to be able to paint in color, add time and effort. That's what I would like to do. So with any luck, I can crack one of those out maybe in an hour or so this on Saturday. I'm going to be going downtown Seattle for my monthly Mecca journey to the marketing agency corporate office that I work at, and doing team builder activities and management one-on-ones and all that kind of stuff. So I won't be here Wednesday the 17th in the morning, but after that, I should have a big roster of vacation time coming up here from basically from the 22nd to the 1st. I'm working like 2 days. So I have a great opportunity for me to slam down a lot of the remnant. These little I'm kind of struggling here. Sorry. Pizza party. Exactly. Oh my God, corporations love pizza. Nothing says you deserve to work here like a pizza party. I'm going to put those in the back and this one in the front. I love, okay, so just again, for 5e enthusiasts out there, this is the Roper. This is a 12-point font. This is a 10-inch tall page with a 1-inch, quarter-inch top and 3/4 quarter bottom margin. And it's 5.5, a quarter, half, quarter, that's 1.5. Yeah, this is 5.5 inches wide and 9 inches tall from basically top to bottom of the text space. 5.5 inches wide, 9 inches tall, and most monsters in D&D, in D&D 5e, fit inside that space. If they're particularly lengthy or complicated characters, I'll need 2 columns. And instead of having the illustration up here, I'll just have a larger illustration down here. Like, where's a page that I can demonstrate that real quick? Here we go. Yeah, gelatinous cube. See, we have the drowned assassin here, which fits concisely into a 1-column space, but the gelatinous cube is particularly complicated. So it takes 2 columns, but here it is. And it's got crystals and Vulpina Lotharia growing on this one and snaking its way into the gelatinous cube. I guess if left alone long enough, it would just fuse into just a giant mass of Mambaran necromancy, and that'd be fun. But anyway, there we go. This highlights that example. So all creatures in D&D can either fit in 1 column or 2 columns. Just plan your pages accordingly. So I love having found this. I am ridiculously excited about having this book published. Just super, super excited. But I'm also really excited to start adopting this format for the other books that we create in the future. I would like to convert the Color Mana Spell Point variant rules to this format. Since in 2026 we're going to be rebuilding all of the Color Mana books, why not rebuild the format and make it a sleeker piece of machinery? Hey, what's up? Hilarious, because I work at the nice corporations order pizza. They tend to tip the drivers really well. Yeah, meanwhile the actual corporate employees, you get pizza. You get Domino's pizza, of course. I mean, to be fair, like if you were going to like a gamer's lunch at WotC, Wizard of the Coast, you'd probably play D&D, right? I mean, they have all the resources already. Why order out? Like some corporate office, like just has like a pizza machine in the kitchen. It's like, yeah, make yourself a pizza anytime. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That actually would be a perk. Come over and make a pizza. I'm like, what? Yeah, we bought a pizza oven. That's hardcore. Like a wood burning stove on the patio. That would be great. I'm going to be fucking around with tentacles for a little bit, which means I can be loopy and talk about whatever until the tentacle pisses off, and then you'll see me lean in a lot and grumble and slow down because the angles aren't working right, or it isn't thinning the way that I want it to, or blah blah blah. Circles are great erasers because you have you have a lot of control over its guidance. But I also have a square eraser that helps a lot in dungeon tiling and stuff like that. If you check my link down below, if you're interested, the tools, the brushes that I use, this brush set specifically here is pretty much like 95% of the time everything that I need to do, whatever it is that I need to do, and that is available on my Patreon link at no cost. I'm gonna put it behind a $1 paywall in the new year. So, cheers to that. I also plan on once the Color Mana Spell Point variant rule system gets rebuilt for 2024, I can start using my Patreon to create Magic the Gathering based material for D&D and not be concerned about whether it's on the DMsGuild or not. I'll just treat it as fan content. Since the core books that I build everything on my Patreon with is on the DMsGuild, you can support me on Patreon to get early access and voting rights to the type of stuff that we're going to make. And it's all built on the rules that are free previews on the DMsGuild link down below. And so at the beginning of the year, I believe the plan is to start rebuilding the core mechanics book for just basically spellcasters. And along with it, rebuild Knights and Tricksters for the Arcane Trickster and Eldritch Knight options. And then we'll dive, and once we have those books completed, we'll probably create Spellpoint Sorcerers as a standalone book with more depth of sorcerer mechanics, possibly a Spellpoint Artificer, although we might not need to. I'm thinking about including the Artificer into the into the core books because so Wizards, when they recreated 5e24, they gave all of the classes in the book 4 subclasses in the core mechanic in the core player's handbook. But with the 5-color magic system, there's instead of having a necromancer and an enchanter and blah blah, you have your subclasses built around the theme of the color that your wizard wants to specialize in, like a white wizard, blue wizard, and these things mean something based on like the mechanics and use of that color in Magic the Gathering. So there's 5 colors, so we have 4 subclasses for all of the classes in the player's handbook, except the wizard has 5. And the Artificer, just now that published, the Forge of the Artificer, it has 5 subclasses also. Artificer is the first alphabetical class in the list, and Wizards is the last alphabetical class in the list. So the bookends have 5, and all the ones in between have 4. So I like the elegance of that. So I plan to include the Artificer. So I've been thinking about how do I want to organize that and what I want to do with it, and it's a significant rewrite rebuild. So a lot of the art that we have in the original book, like if I have to rebuild the whole thing anyway because there's so many changes to the 5e24 character classes and that are applicable to mana that I need to rebuild the classes and include those in the book along with the spell lists and all the blah blah. But we use the same 17 by 10 page size for the 16 by 9 active area inside of it, and so I'm really looking forward to that. I have to unfortunately thin this up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly sinew. Like, it doesn't have to be liquid smooth like I like to do with my necromancy ropes, because ropers are basically rock-like creatures that disguise themselves as stalagmites or stalactites, depending on if they're on the ceiling or on the floor at the time. In the adventure, the roper is actually on the ceiling in the cavern where the players meet it. But I don't think I wanted to. Let's go flip vertical. I don't think I wanted to have it upside down like this. Maybe I kind of do. Let's leave it upside down for a little bit. Let's just see. I was about to see. Let's see how that hangs. But that'd be too punny. Talk about flipping the script. What's some other puns I can come up with? Comment down below. Hit the like button and type punny in the comments to support more art on D&D. Okay, I'm getting a little flaky. Yeah, sure. Let's be upside down for a little bit. You know what? You know what this lets me do? You know what? Huh? Nope, wrong. Let's go with this one. Cut, paste, free transform. Ooh. Well, that's fun. Let's do that. I spy with my eyes some text. Yeah, exactly. Well done, sir. Yeah, it looks a hell of a lot more dynamic upside down. That's crazy. Nah. Thought about it. Let it go. Merge this down. Actually, don't merge that down because it's overlapping. That'd be a mistake. Let's grab this one though here real quick, and let's play with where it's at for transform. Free transform. Yeah, I think there's something here. Let's see. Let's separate this one. Come on, Kearney. Hit the marks. Thank you. Oh, I should be zooming in anyway. Cut, paste. All right, so let's build this out separately, but equally. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to embarrass myself real quick and show off the original version. Horrible, but I wanted this eye color. Because I want to put the eyes on its face while I'm thinking about it. One eye here. I think one here makes sense. Bring that forward a little bit. And God, that's awful. REF. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. You know what? Free transform. Flip vertical. I was having an easier time visualizing its face when it was this way, and I think I'll just go ahead and stick with that. So let's stick with that. We'll delete that. Window. I need my tools. I just want to put some facial features on this guy before I lost track of it. Let's just grab that, conceal this, blip, delete. I could see like a lower maw here. Okay, so I watched a few more episodes of Vox Machina last night, and I've decided that now that I'm into the 4th episode, I like him. So they finally got all the heroes together, and they're trying to figure out how to be a team, and I like the interaction between the characters. I don't necessarily like all the characters, but I like where it's going. So I am appeased at the moment. And we'll continue to watch the show. I was poo-pooing it yesterday because I didn't like how disjointed the different plots were. But they were I get that they were trying to assemble the team. I just didn't like the way that they were doing it for some reason. And I don't love the characters. I am not immediately taken by the selection of characters in Mighty Nine versus the original Vox Machina. So maybe I'll grow to love the characters, but I don't love any of them. I loved almost all of the characters in the original Vox Machina series. I am not a Critical Roles fan. I do not watch Let's Plays. I'm spending way too much time actually playing and running D&D to invest more than an hour or so in a TV show. Like this is I don't want to listen to Vox Machina while I'm painting. Though I do see, if I was a Vox Machina fan, or I'm sorry, Critical Role fan, it would be easy for me to listen to their show while I'm painting. It would not be difficult at all. See, this is where I was trying to get to with this guy's face. We can get there. Now we can free transform. I'll catch up with you in a second. Hold on. Vert. There.
What's up? Yeah. I'm watching season 1 and 2. Haven't seen anything past that. Yeah.
No, ropers do not have eyelids. They're just buggy eyes.
I got into Vox Machina 1 and it.
Hey, right on. Have fun. It's the Netflix show, the Vox, the original series is really, really good. I am a big fan of it. Highly recommend. I'm starting to get there with Mighty Nine. Let's do that. I just want to play with colors for a minute, just to play with something else. Has blue, but around here it has red. So I think what I need to do is use that as an opportunity to create a little bit of heat in the light-facing side of this creature, and use the blue as the cooler color, showing that it's facing away from the light source. I've been talking about needing to improve my color theory. Heat in color, for me, being colorblind, is the absolute most difficult challenge at, like, how to be able to gauge heat and cold with like warm lighting and cold lighting, and how does that affect the shadow. And this is a perfect example of that. Maybe I'll use this piece in the video that I make about color blindness this weekend. But I can obviously utilize this. I mean, we have the red for the light is obviously coming from this direction at this point, right? So this was an opportunity when I discovered that the color that I was using, because I did a color check. Up here on the RGB side, you can see it has this what I'm using right now has a red kick, while this has almost a gray, but very mildly a blue twinge to it. So that means that there's a little bit of cool here, but the front side facing has this heat, and I'm pretty good with that.
What's up? Yeah, the color temperature contrast and the hue shifting is probably the hardest color issue in my opinion.
Yeah, no kidding. It's probably difficult for people that can see color. But I don't have any illusions about what I'm looking at, because it's all gray tone to me. I don't see the heat of color. Like, colors don't have, even though they're sliding around the between spectrum, literally warmer colors are a higher frequency than the lower colors, like blue. Blue is literally a cooler color because the frequency of light is slower with blue than it is with red. So it's literally red is literally a warmer color, which is why it looks warm to people. But I don't pick up on that. So my eyes don't have the machinery to be able to identify color heat variances, which I believe is all that color blindness is the inability to detect heat in light information that's coming in, because that's what defines color. So the cones that are in your eye are heat receptors, while the rods in your eye define shapes and separation of contrast. So when you don't have any cones, you're always operating on contrast. All my eye can identify as contrast. So like say an impala in the African savanna, colorblind, can't see a leopard hiding in brush, or like a tiger hiding in the brush, because the vertical patterns of the stripes on their body actually blends in with the shoots and sprouts of high reed grass and shadow. It's for anyone that has color vision, it's obvious because, you know, oranges and stuff, I guess. But they completely disappear to me. I can't see them at all when they jump in the brush. They are just gone. And I suspect the prey that they're designed to hunt has a similar limitation as well. But yeah, it's heat. It's the eye is detecting heat, and since that's this dealing with like heat in the highlight and coolness in the shadow, that is like literally the biggest challenge of my visual limitations, because my limitation is no heat. So sorry, I'm kind of rambling there, but I've never really vocalized that, because I haven't now that I'm actually starting to get into exploring heat, it's making me think about it, and I really just now realize that is what's going on. It's detection of heat. So I guess we could consider this a boss fight, where we take everything that I've learned and try to apply it in a challenging situation, and that is me using heat in an illustration. So Bob's your uncle. There you go. That's the contours. We're going to texture it up with the same crystal grit that we've been texturing everything else in the adventure. So for this roper to actually blend into its environment, it would require grit texturing. So right now I'm just creating the contours of the stone, and I'm pretty happy with where this is at so far. I'll add in additional details later, but we're at a point here where I can safely add in the tentacles and see where they are in the silhouette that will either complement or detract from where it's sitting. Word salad incoming. Cheers. Like that. Ooh, hold on. Can I? I could include this, but I need a curve to it. I'm going to conceal this one for now and focus over here on these guys. Get them right. This one's going to jump to the foreground eventually. All right, back to tentacles. I'm going to take a sip of water and coffee here first, actually. Don't remember if you've asked me.
Have you tried color correcting?
No, color correcting glasses, what they do is you have to have cones in your eye for them to correct with. So like red-green color blindness, for example, the glasses that they use, they shift the spectrum. They basically split the spectrum so that if all you have are red and green, if you can't see red and green, but you can see the other colors, it skews the red and green colors into a bandwidth that you can see. So like to them, if they have blue and a degree of yellow access, this red-green is going to push green into blue, and it's going to push red like towards yellow-orange. So it's just trying to, it's just basically compressing the wavelength down so it falls into the spectrum of vision that they actually have. Which is like sliding, like if you don't have red-green vision, it's like you don't have the top, like we were talking about the wavelength, color being a wavelength thing. Like this is blue and then it speeds up to red. So in here is green. So this thing takes all of that and it stretches it out. So everything feels more blue. So they're not actually seeing it, they're now seeing contrast in a bandwidth that their eye is capable of recognizing. So when you don't have the ability to see color at all, those glasses just bend how gray it is. It doesn't actually do anything for me at all. Because I don't have, because the cones are what manipulates the color vision, and you have to have at least some color vision for those glasses to work. Did that make sense? I think that was fairly basic physics. I think I did it right. Oh, great question. I didn't need to put a hole in that. Let's fix that. I think I want to be done with this tentacle. I'm not though. I can see that's still horrible. Again, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be liquid smooth, because it is a stalactite type of creature. But I do need to make sure that it's tapering properly for physics. Yeah, ropers in the ceiling is great. They've got what, a 30-foot reach, I think. Hold on. 60-foot reach. So you could have a roper on the ceiling. They're large. I think they're large size. Yeah, they're large size creatures. So a 60-foot ceiling. I'm sorry. You could have a 70-foot ceiling. The roper is 10 feet in size. Its reach extends 60 feet. So that's from floor to ceiling is 60. And then the characters are 5 feet in height. So you could technically make it 75-foot ceilings, and the roper would still be able to hit you at their maximum reach. But in this place, it's only a 10-foot reach, so it's within. There's a water line, and you're walking about waist deep in water when you're going to run across this. So it's on the ceiling, avoiding the water, hiding among all the rough rock and the lichen and all that stuff. So it basically drops down, grabs you, and then pulls you up to its maw. If you're able to break free, you'll take falling damage. So they're just fantastic. Ropers are great creatures. Highly recommend that you put them on the ceiling so that you can add that falling damage as a significant risk to getting grappled by them. What is it, 15 feet per round? Real. The roper pulls each creature grappled by 30 feet straight towards it. There you go. So if it hits you, it's going to deal damage, it's going to grapple you, and it gets to reel you for free 30 feet off the ground. So if you break free, you take 3d6 damage. Super dangerous creatures. Great fighters. I kind of want to taper this off. Nah, we'll leave it. Obviously they can recoil, or they can retract to reel you in. The tentacles retract. So that allows me to have them depicted less than 60 feet in length. I like this.
Great Warrior brought it down. Yeah, no kidding, right? Wonder if the tech exists to make grays show their true colors, sort of.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the tech of how the heat of the colors operate within the eye to. It's a chemical process that happens in the eye to send the information to the brain. I don't know what. Without the photoreceptors, I just don't have the hardware to be able to receive it. But I guess technically the software is there in the occipital lobes in the back of the head. Maybe if we get to a point with Neuralink or whatever to be able to feed information directly into the brain, perhaps then I don't know. If it's going to just duplicate images, and if just that information is being duplicated, I don't know if I don't think anyone knows if the color, we know that the hardware limitation of color blindness is that we don't have the photoreceptors, but I don't think we have a powerful enough technology yet to know if it's also a brain issue or not until we're able to like literally pipe images directly into a brain to see if they pop up in color or not. That's a fascinating question. If they get to, I guess they don't have to be invasive with some of this technology. You can just put a skull cap on with all the sensors on it. I would be highly cautious about having like any kind of gene therapy injected into my eye, or any kind of opening up my skull to mess around with my brain to make this stuff work. But if it could be in a non-invasive process that would allow the information to tap into that section of my brain, yeah, absolutely, I would be fascinated to see what happens. But I'm not going to try to science my way out of the limitations that I was given. If it's going to risk my actual vision. That makes me a coward, I get it. But I don't feel like my life is so much less without color vision to even risk anything. It's not worth it. I'm happy with the limitations that I have. If I couldn't walk, obviously, if there was some sort of science that would give me walking back, I would absolutely want that. And would be willing to risk something that already doesn't work to get back. Like, that's not a risk. Big difference. Yeah, I am discontent with this tentacle. Let's do like that. Yeah, that feels pretty good. We can do it like that.
Hey, I think I'm missing text. What's up? What if they only came in minion hats?
Yeah, I'd be willing to wear it. See, I would only need to wear it occasionally. I don't even know if I'd want to have it on full time or not. I also don't know how it might skew my current my current perception of contrast. I don't know if it'll enhance it or it will dull it, because people with color vision often mistake variance in color as a variance in contrast, like a blue and a green that are roughly the same in gray are identical, and you can't pick them out from each other without the actual color information. And apparently, that's bad design in art. So artists with color, I guess some of them, struggle with identifying true contrast, which is why they have like the ability to turn off color, like to make it black and white, for them to get an accurate read of what is their contrast looking like. But I operate in that space all the time. I honestly, I think that's probably why most people think my art is interesting, is because of my approach to contrast. Since it's the only space that I can operate inside of, it's kind of my forte, as it were.
You tell me. That's my struggle. I don't do the black and white thing near enough, but I do know that when I choose values, they're generally very contrasting. I think. Yeah, I would agree. I've seen a number of your pieces, and I think it has really strong separation. You just got a really good grip of fundamentals in the first place, though. I mean, control of fundamentals, it just goes a long way in being able to properly express like whatever your style evolves into. Like I keep saying, the style emerges from the limitations that you have. So once you get good enough structurally, compositionally, lighting and stuff like that, once you get the basics down that people know what it is that they're looking at when they look at your thing, it's the style then represents your struggle with realism. The style you develop is the way that you compensate, as I say, for not having the ability to create photorealism. People that can like precisely reproduce like a still life painting or like a portrait where you're capturing the exact image of what somebody looks like or something looks like. That's not a style. That is attempting photorealism, and I guess photorealism's own style, in that it lacks any style at all. It is just literally what an apple is. It's literally what that guy's face is. Style is, I can't draw that guy's face photorealistically, so I'm going to make artistic concessions where I can't make this nose accurately, so the way that I'm going to illustrate noses will have to be aesthetically pleasing so that you will forgive me for not being able to perfectly duplicate somebody's nose. And those apologies that you make is you're forgiven when it looks cool anyway. Like the anime look of character art, like it's far from photorealistic, but it's a really interesting dynamic face style that you can create a lot of emotional depth with. So it's accepted as the medium. People find it aesthetically pleasing, so it's okay, even though it's not photorealistic. It's a very fast production process for faces, and it's very simple and it's very like formulaic. So you can bend that style a little bit into your own style, but ultimately that anime look has a general consensus of like what it looks like. So it's shorthanding reality. And I feel like this one would be a lot cooler if it circled around like this. But it's a little busy, so I'm gonna let it go. If I had a bigger space to operate in, or if I was willing to make the stalactite portion of its body smaller, I could probably manipulate that stuff more. But I don't see the value in doing it. I can slide the stalactite over a little bit more, and that actually kind of does open up space, and that makes me kind of think about. I think I like where we're at. I like these conversations. I get to talk myself into stuff. I need to, I think, hold on. Let's push this up here. Yeah, let's be here. I'm messing around with these tentacles, but I also have to make sure I keep it inside of a square, because on the map it's going to be in a 2x2 square box. So I can play with positioning and stuff with it right here, right now, but I'm going to have to make sure that it will fit inside the space that it needs. So far, I think we're doing an okay job. I like that there. Free transform. Flip horizontal. Oh, I think we're finding it. We're finding it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. This will work. What's up? See, the console is doing a spiral downward near centerpiece. Near centerpiece. Oh man, I wish I could extend that like this because I like the aesthetics of these kind of interweaving like that. That looks cool, but it's overextending the piece. Like here, I've got this box that I can stay inside of. The tentacles are behaving. This is aesthetically pleasing. I really like that. I can't justify doing it though. Let's. Nope, that's not gonna work. Free transform, flip horizontal. All right, let's get back on course. This thing is just not jiving with me for some reason. It's a fun challenge. I don't mind its hustle. Because I like this a lot. I think that's great. So I mean, I can actually slide the body over a little bit more to take advantage of that space to create a little bit more openness over here. Does Adobe have the liquefy tool? It does, but I don't want to use it. I know it's faster to make the tentacles, but I like to do it manually. Let's conceal that. Let's go back to this one. In all reality, there's probably other graphic programs with far less bells and whistles that I would probably like. I'm such a minimalist. I really don't use a lot, like 75% of the tools in here, probably 85% of the tools, or even 90% of the tools. I just don't use them. I don't need them. But I love the interface and I love the mechanics of how Photoshop works. I don't know. I haven't bothered checking out other art programs to see if they if they duplicate the feel, because I've been, I guess, content with using Adobe, even though they charge me a subscription each year to utilize the tools, and I don't really use most of the new features that they keep adding on that would justify the cost. I'm a loyalist first. That's one of my main problems, is that I am loyal. Even when something or somebody doesn't necessarily deserve it, I tend to stick to what I know. And I bet most people are that way, and I think corporations prey upon that. I guess sunk cost fallacy is accurate there, in that I put so much time into using these tools, I don't want to put time into learning something else. Kind of like why people stick with 5e when maybe they wouldn't actually want to. It's like, I know it, I don't want to bother with the other shit. I don't want to try to find a group. No one's going to play that game, blah, blah, blah. Even though I love it, there's no infrastructure to support it actually playing it. Or whatever that game is. Like Cosmere, for example. Eldritch Lorecast is one of the podcasts that I like. I've got 20 minutes left. Eldritch Lorecast is one of the D&D tubes that I like to listen to weekly, and they were highlighting what the fuck happened to Cosmere. It's like $15 million Kickstarter role-playing game, and since its release, it's been a whisper. So yeah, it's because people bought it to support Cosmere, not because they're role-playing enthusiasts that are dying for the Cosmere world. They love the author. They wanted to give him a lot of money, and it's a big, pretty book they could put on their table. I get it. I'm not jealous of that. Being able to, a role-playing game book is a great opportunity for you to create shitloads of art for the IP that you're supporting with that role-playing game, and to express ideas of those books or whatever that IP is in the terms of a role-playing game. It's just a different form of art to appreciate the IP that you love. So RPG, I mean, it's a game, but it isn't even necessarily meant to be played. It's just basically a love letter to the Cosmere world, right? I don't know anything about it. I'm not a Cosmere fan. I don't know shit about it. But I know a lot of people love it. $15 million worth of enthusiasts. And I bet none of them are actually playing it. Like 5%, maybe 5% of the backers are actually playing a Cosmere RPG. I like how this one's sitting. This is very pretty. This one here, it is, however, ugly. So I need to fix that. We will not be finishing this one today. But it will probably get finished quickly tomorrow. And we'll move on to another piece again. I am surprised how quickly these are moving forward. Like, it took 6 days for us to finish the Spectral Knight, but it only took 1 day for the Shadow Mastiff, and like 2 hours, like 3 hours, like 3 hours for the Shadow Mastiff. And this Roper's is probably going to come in around 3 hours as well over the course of tomorrow, and it'll be done. And I am perfectly happy with that clip of production. Like, if I could always make monsters that quickly, oh boy, Phil would be a happy puppy. Trying to keep the square in mind. Keeping that square in mind, let's bring this in a bit. So I need to shorten up this tentacle a little. That should be good. Oh, I like that position too. That looks nice. There we go. Yeah, I love how we have this little pocket in here that we can drop creatures into. It works out really nicely for most things. Oh yeah, reference stuff. This is one of the illustrations later on in the book that we used to reference colors on this guy. I don't know what you're doing now. Where are you? Why are you? What the hell is going on? Revenant. There we go. There. That piece took like 2 or 3 weeks to do. That was ridiculous. Back when we had infinite time a year ago. Yeah, I think I was making that piece in like September 2024. That's how long we've been building this fucking thing. I am ready to birth this baby. It is cooked and it wants to come out of the oven. I can feel it. I am really, really excited. I have, so yeah, I've got this 10-day, basically from December 22nd till January 2nd. I think I'm working only 2 days during that block of time, which will allow me ample opportunity to get a shitload of work done. I don't think I'm going to actually be finished and having the thing published until probably the first week of January. I think that's when this is going to actually drop. Maybe if I sped up and didn't quite file off the corners as much as I am, leave it a little bit rougher, I could probably get it done here in the next 2 weeks. But I'm so close to being done. Why rush? I just want to make sure it's where it's supposed to be, and we're getting there. Very, very well. We are getting there. Hey, what's up? Never once played Vampire the Masquerade, but that book had some slick. Yes, yeah, it was stylistically gorgeous. Was here when you were drawing that one. Has it been that long? It might have been. It's. I don't know. Maybe it was February of this year. It was somewhere around there, though. It was quite some time ago. We'll have to look it up. The live streams I do aren't necessarily the most elegantly organized. It just has a list of numbers and a name, but I guess that's about as intuitive as I could make it. I don't know. My brain is a little mushy right now. So tonight we're going to be back on at 6:30 p.m. PST. We're going to be looking at the Eberron Forge of the Artificer. It has additional Bastion options. I had a chance to read through those options last night, and virtually everything that they're suggesting in those new facilities already exist in the Bastion system that we've developed. So we'll just look at what those different facilities, those unique Eberron facilities are, and we'll go back and we'll compare it to what our Bastion campaign book is capable of producing, and you'll see that everything that they've basically put in that book we've already developed and tested. So I'm really excited to see that, to see how well built this revised Bastion system is in translating Wizards of the Coast stuff. I'm very, very excited about that. Some of my best friends have suggested that I prioritize the Bastion campaign, since that's new content, versus the Color Mana system, which is just updating stuff that already exists. So I might be building a bunch of stuff all at the same time, and just kind of ping-ponging around what it is that I work on until something specifically grabs me and I want to race forward with getting that completed. But I don't know what that's going to be yet, but there's multiple books that are pulling at my attention right now that are all screaming to be the next one that I pick out in class to get produced. And that's the problem with working multiple fronts, trying to defend multiple fronts at the same time as just one individual. And that's my own fault for not wanting to create a crew. Honestly, DMsGuild books don't produce enough money to really be able to hire anyone for a respectable compensation for their time. I do this for the love of the game, and sell the books as a means to try to compensate some of the time that I invested into it, and to pay for all the tools that it is, like the Photoshop and the camera and the equipment that I have, and the upkeep of the computer and the website and all that stuff to keep things available. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We can probably drop that down to there. Let's squeeze this in a touch. That feels pretty good. Yes. And this one's also going to be foreground. And I'm happy with that one, so that's a big yes. Yeah, I when it comes to designing monsters, I generally like to have them not interacting with stuff. Like just the monster by itself, so that the token, when you use the token, it always makes sense. If I was just making an illustration involving the roper, yeah, I'd love to have it like reaching down, grabbing, and fishing people up towards it into the ceiling. That'd be a lot of fun, but that's beyond the scope of what I think a good token illustration should be. I commend WotC for the 2024 Monster Manual having so many illustrations of the monsters interacting or engaging with things and people. I like that a lot, but they don't make for good tokens. So luckily, almost all the monsters that are in 5e already exist in multiple other editions with stupid amounts of artwork, so you can just go find a token-worthy illustration online and use that in your game. And if you're in meat space, I'm a big fan of standees. I always made standees for the player characters. I do character illustrations that would, be on little standee things, so you can move them around as like little paper pieces. So you have like your little, you have your little floor piece like this, and then you have your piece of paper that slides into that spot, and this will be an illustration of your guy, or being heroic. Huzzah! I come to save whatever. Like that. This is the side view. Like this is the side view here, and this is what it looks like when it's facing you. If for those that don't know what a standee is, STANDEE, I think is how it's spelled. But that's what they look like. Love making those. I made those all the time when I was playing in physical space. Super funzo. Let's take this to there, and then let's trim this here. And then one more tentacle should be fine. I see text. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that fits very nicely. So does that. I think I like that. Hey, we might even have space for two more. Hold on. Roper's supposed to have up to 6 tentacles. I mean, they get cut off and shit from prey trying to get away, sure. But they have a maximum capacity of 6. So maybe I just want to add in another. Another one back here. What's up? Have you considered putting this stuff on Roll20 also? I'm going to be, so when people purchase this adventure, all the maps and assets will be calibrated for integrating. Roll20 uses a 70 DPI per square. So like when you're looking at their grid map, each square is 70 pixels. So the asset packet that we're going to have as the download, you get the adventure itself, with all the keys and the maps and the illustrations and stuff like that. But there are also all these token. These will all be individual token files that'll be in a zip file, and the maps as well. So the maps will be 70 DPI, so that when you take the map and you drop it in the Roll20, it just auto clicks into the grid properly. This works. I've tested it, and it just drag and drop. It just automatically. If it's 70 DPI on the map, it'll auto-align to on the maps in Roll20, as it should. I mean, that's just logical, right? If you illustrate the map at 100 pixels and have the grid lines of the map be 2 pixels wide, so that each square of 5-foot space, like a 5-foot square of space, if you make it 100 pixels across and you make this line and this line, these lines here, only 1 pixel in size, when you have them clicked together, they're 2 pixels wide. And at 100 DPI, it looks really good, but when you drop it down to 70 DPI, it's the same. It literally becomes the same width as the grid map on Roll20. Like Roll20's grid resolution, it's like 1.4 pixels wide. So when you reduce the 0.7 pixel, yeah, it's like a 0.7 pixel line, because 1 pixel becomes 0.7. So when you reduce the space down, it actually works out so that your lines line up perfectly. It's really nice. So 100 DPI is the optimal resolution for Roll20 mapping. Sorry, kind of word saladed that at you for a little bit. What's new? Let's put this one here, and that one there. So, but to actually code this to work inside of it's like a module that automatically pops up information. Like when you click on a room, it opens the map to that room and provides the dialog box and stuff like that. That's actually pretty intense coding. And I am not a coder, nor will this make enough money for me to hire somebody to do that coding. So unfortunately, no, I'm not building this specifically for Roll20. I'm not specifically going in and making the maps with like the walls and the lighting and stuff like that. It would be a more customer friendly product if I did. It would also destroy any profits being able to produce that, or it would extend the amount of time. Like I'd have to spend another year building all that stuff, 3 months to a year, depending on how proficient I become at it, because I would no way be able to afford somebody to do it for me, unfortunately. So I know as the world becomes more and more digital, the winners have more and more convenient digital tools to use this stuff. But I don't use all the bells and whistles on Roll20 either. I don't care about, like, most of the time when I'm in Roll20, I'm just making, like, here's the room, and then here's the next room that you go to, and here's another room. Unless I'm doing a specific style of playtest that requires me to build out a map ahead of time, a lot of times I'm just mostly improvising a dungeon when I'm, like, in my normal weekly game with my lunchtime adventure coworkers. Most of the time I have just a vague idea of what a dungeon or a cavern complex should have in it, and then I'll improvise as many additional rooms as I feel is necessary to pace the amount of damage and like where the team is at. So these organized these produced adventures like we're building here is not my preferred mode of play. I've talked about this a lot before, but as a DM, I don't like you to know when I'm off script and when I am improvising. If you can't tell when I'm improvising, it's far more immersive for the players to be able to just go along with what's happening. So when I'm improvising, I try to conceal that as much as I can. And that includes with maps. So if I'm always using super shitty stick figure style maps, I can dream those up as fast as I can draw them, whether I've already planned it or not. And they'll never know the difference. So they don't question like the integrity of something going on. And like they assume that I know what's happening, that I assume I've planned this out, that I assume I'm ahead of the curve. So the way that I generally, when I'm playing my weekly games, the way that I build my adventures is so that they have lots of space open in them to improvise challenges or interactions and stuff like that. I just have like the main story beats of what I need the team to get to, and I just leave it open for just the experience of playing to fill in all those gaps, because it always does. The space gets filled. It's just when I build a published adventure like this, I can't improv for you. So we built the adventure to cover as many bases as possible. As a result, it's a pretty thorough document. Yeah, not going to be building out the tools for it on Roll20. I love how those are interacting. So I have space for like one more in here somewhere. But unfortunately, I've ran out of time. So I got to bounce out of here and go to my day job. I'm going to be back in approximately 10 and a half hours, 6:30 p.m. PST, to look at the Forge of the Artificer, translate the Bastion, or show how the Bastion options they're building in that are already built and integrated. Like 90% of it is already built into the document that we've built and we've been playtesting for the past year. And then I'll be back tomorrow morning to finish this up. And then on Saturday morning, with the Forge of the Artificer, we'll be updating and translating the 5 subclasses into the color mana system for the book that we'll be publishing next year. So that's it for now, guys. Hey, thanks a lot, man. Hey, Steve. Bye, Steve. Good times, guys. Appreciate you all being here. I'll see some of you guys tonight, and I'll see hopefully more of you tomorrow. Cheers.